the best NBA coaches for the 2020 to 2021 season. Coaching a basketball team is not an easy job, but some coaches are fired from their position after the end of every season while other names are nominated for the year's best coach. This year all of these top coaches shine so much that you can't even say plainly that out of all of them who was more deserving. Hey there, welcome back to Bizarre Sports, and today, we will talk about the best NBA coaches for the 2020-21 season. Before we move on, make sure to leave a like and hit the subscribe button if you want more content like this. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Tom Thibodeau. Coaching has always played a pivotal role in determining the performance of a team. We have seen many times when a several-year underperforming team starts winning under a good coach. The same happened with the New York Knicks when Tom Thibodeau joined it. Before him, the Knicks never managed to get into the playoffs for 8 years. But now, they competed and made the playoffs this year, and all of the credit goes to Tom Thibodeau, who changed the team culture from day one. Plus, he polished a new shining star, Julius Randle, who is becoming invincible day after day. Bringing life back to the New York Knicks, reinvigorating its vast fan base, and making Madison Square Garden a place to play. Are these remarkable achievements not enough to be an annual award? In fact, the Knicks have made significant strides under his command, and the bottom line behind Tom Thibodeau's candidacy is that the Knicks have improved their win rate by approximately 23%. They held the second largest win percentage rise in the league, behind only the Phoenix Suns. A former mentor openly said, Thibodeau deserves the nod over Williams since he is in his first season with the Knicks. Moreover, Randle is now posting career highs in points, assists, and steals per 100 possessions, as well as a career-high percentage from the three-point line and free throw line. Similarly, Barrett's points, assists, and rebounds per game have improved this season, and he has posted a 6.6% higher percentage from beyond the arc in his second season. His overall rating is up nearly 7 points per game. That is a result of the Knicks' performance as a squad this season, but it also demonstrates how Barrett is influencing winning in year 2. Despite everything, Tom Thibodeau didn't receive the award just because this year's competition was so tight that many ignored his work, but if he kept pushing the Knicks, nothing could stop him from winning the Coach of the Year award this season. Steve Nash. A collective "huh" was heard from the Brooklyn Nets when Steve Nash was announced as their new coach. Though Nash is revered as one of the game's greats and a surefire Hall of Famer, he did not have a prior background as a head coach, nor has he worked as an assistant before. So, giving him the coaching job was obviously a surprising decision for all. As you may hear before, that the players can't be good coaches, this notion has always played a tricky part in the selection. But now, Nash has proved everyone wrong this year. In fact, he is coaching 3 superstars at a time, which is not an easy job. His big 3 superstars, Irving, Durant, and Harden, have only played 7 games together. And it isn't just about the big 3 that have gone missing. Nash also had to contend with 16 starters missing a total of 25 games this season, the 4th most in the league due to injuries or health and safety procedures. As a consequence, according to Basketball Reference, the Nets have used 32 separate starting lineups this season. He's still facing the pressures of the New York economy, all of the off-court, non-basketball headlines around Irving and Durant, the additions of Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge, late in the season, and yet find opportunities to win games and create synergy. After all this, the Nets still finished second in the East. This is genuinely applaudable, and that's why he remained a strong candidate for Coach of the Year, but his critics did not want him to be the Coach of the Year. Instead, they have been saying that Steve Nash had 3 NBA super players, and such performance from the Nets doesn't count as anything extraordinary. Quinn Synder. Another great coach on our list is Quinn Synder. He should earn NBA Coach of the Year due to the outstanding performance shown by the Utah Jazz under his supervision. In fact, they made their best record this year. The team has consistently been the strongest team, and they are the only team to place in the top 5 in both offensive and defensive performance. Furthermore, they have been the most dominant home team this season, winning 31 of 35 games. They've also kept up their strong play lately despite missing Donovan Mitchell and Mike Conley in the backcourt. Without both stars for the Jazz's last 8 contests, the team went 6-2 over that period. Despite the fact that Quinn Synder has benefited from excellent lineup stability, Synder has elevated a perennial second-tier playoff team into title contention with a disciplined defense and an elite offensive attack based on ball movement and outside shooting. This all requires nerves of steel and strong bonding with the team so they can stick to your design plan. However, like the case of Nash, Snyder's critics are not going to pay any heed to his coaching role. Instead, they have some arguably good reasons to tell the world that Snyder has a pair of all-stars, 2 Sixth Man of the Year, as well as 3 Defensive Players of the Year. In fact, they are not going to accept this fact easily that Quinn Synder has invested several years training this group and creating a group that will win championships in coming years. Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers, like his contemporaries, inherited an outstanding blocker in Ben Simmons and one of the league's most powerful big men in Joel Embiid. Unlike them, though, the veteran coach has transformed the Philadelphia 76ers into legitimate championship challengers, with the team poised to finish the regular season atop the Eastern Conference standings. Rivers has helped Embiid become an MVP contender in his first season with the Sixers and has gotten the most out of Tobias Harris, who has never played at a higher clip in his career. After being stacked, Philadelphia has underperformed in the playoffs in recent years. However, Rivers, as well as veterans Danny Green and Dwight Howard, have championship expertise. The Sixers have a chance to go all the way this year, which will be a bitter pill for the Los Angeles Clippers to swallow after seeing Rivers go unjustly prior to last season. Monty Williams. Last but absolutely not least, we are finally talking about Monty Williams. In just his second year with the Phoenix Suns, he has helped the team return to the playoffs following an 11-year absence. Before his entrance, the Suns were one of the worst teams in the league in terms of offensive and defensive quality. In the previous season, they were at 5th and 9th in the league, respectively. They placed in the bottom 2 for 4 seasons in a row, but this year, they competed with the Jazz for the top slot in the Western Conference standings. Adding Jay Crowder and Chris Paul to compete alongside their rising stars Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton has dramatically aided the squad this season. Suns supporters should be optimistic regarding the team's prospects with Williams in charge. The Suns ended the 2019-20 season with a 34-39 mark, finishing 2 slots out of the NBA playoffs, and they have become one of the league's most surprising teams in 2021. Though the recruitment of Chris Paul has propelled them into a strong position in the Western Conference, Monty Williams deserves credit for this team's performance. As he brought the Suns back to life, bringing them to a 51-21 regular season mark. He guided the Suns to their first Pacific Division championship since 2007, and they became the league's 5th team to win 15 games or more in consecutive seasons. Despite missing out on a 72-game regular season, Phoenix advanced by 17 games this season. Most importantly, the Suns were one of only 4 teams to finish in the top 10 in both defense and offense. Their expectations may not have been as big as the Nets, but they were unmistakable. Phoenix was the squad that everyone expected would break out before the season after their 8-0 record in the playoffs. Phoenix was destined to be a postseason squad with Chris Paul on the roster, but being in the mix for the highest overall record in the league is something nobody might have predicted. The Suns are exciting to watch under Williams. He has transformed the team from a Western Conference doormat to a possible championship challenger. As opposed to last season, the Suns have made noticeable gains on both ends of the court this year. The Suns have the best road record in the NBA, with a 19-9 record. That's amazing in a normal year, but that's much more impressive in a year where traveling for NBA teams has so much more to it than it did previously. And it's much more remarkable when you remember how bad Phoenix was on the road previous to Williams' arrival. In 2018-19, the Suns finished 7-34. They've gone from having the worst road record to having the highest in only 2 years. That can be attributed to Williams' cultural shift. It's quick to point to CP3's effect on the Suns this season, but there would be no CP3 and Phoenix if Williams hadn't laid the groundwork. Williams is exploiting the Suns' potential, and he deserves full praise for it. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like and comment. We will catch you some other time.